All right, the Bidens just announced that USA is going to reopen travel with China and no COVID testing. Really? Do we trust them? No COVID testing. Heck, I'd let the tennis player, Novak Djokovic, come in. He's much more important to me. Anyway, joining me now, Kash Patel, former Deputy Director of National Intelligence, former DOD Chief of Staff, former prosecutor. First of all, Kash, why are we letting China in with no testing? In fact, I would ask, why are we letting China in? Period. End of sentence. Full stop.
Larry, it's great to be with you. And that is the question. And it shows the strategic shift in the national security policy of this administration and the Trump administration previously. We now know, thanks to what we knew when I was Deputy Director of National Intelligence, where the China virus came from, the Wuhan laboratory. President Trump, after we briefed him on the intelligence, issued a full stop travel from anything and anywhere related to China. And he was labeled a racist. Fast forward the clock. Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, comes out on Capitol Hill and finally admits what we all knew, that the China virus came from the Wuhan laboratory. So now we have directors and cabinet secretaries saying what we all knew the evidence was, and Joe Biden takes an action that is contrary to the national security interests of the United States of America. And I agree with you. It should be a full stop on all things China, not just tariffs and otherwise. But I don't see a reasoning or justification for it other than the fact that Joe Biden, national security policy, it's been across the board. What did Trump do? I'm going to do the opposite.
I mean, it's incredible to me. You know, we just had Lindsey Graham on earlier in the show fighting back with the drug cartels and the fentanyl problem, where, as you know, all that stuff comes from China. And then, of course, the China balloon, and then all the rest of it, the Taiwan and the human rights violation. Dr. Robert Redfield testified today that lab leak is what the cause of this thing was. And Fauci was putting in gain-of-function financing for Wuhan all along, even though Mr. Fauci denied it. And here we are giving China a break. Kash, I don't want to give China any breaks, honestly.
Larry, I'm with you. China and the CCP specifically should not just be forbidden from getting any breaks. They should be punished for their activities now that the world knows what we knew back when we were reading the intelligence and acting on it. And you're the economic master. I'm not just talking about tariffs for products. I'm talking about shutting down access to the international banking system. I'm talking about shutting down trade and tech relations and stop giving the Chinese government billions of dollars of American goods, products, and technology so that they can use it against the American people like they're doing with TikTok. And I can't for the life of me understand why our current commander-in-chief is rewarding the behavior that is getting China closer and closer to them invading the Taiwanese airspace in the island of Taiwan like Putin has done in Russia, and we're doing nothing about it in the South China Sea to defend against one of our greatest allies over there.
Not to speak of the occasional balloon flying over Montana and the Dakotas. We still haven't done anything about that. Not a single thing. I mean, in all seriousness, I'd rather let in Novak Djokovic, the great tennis player, because I love to watch him play tennis, and he's playing such great tennis, there's no way he would have COVID. But, I mean, who can believe the Chinese? That's the key point. I mean, here's another way of looking at it, Kash. To me, this lifting the travel restrictions, and again, no tests coming in, that's a reward for China. Why are we rewarding China? Point number one. Point number two, you may have followed this. You're talking about decoupling on the economies, okay? It's a complex matter, but, there was a paper coming out of China, one of the think tanks, that said decoupling would damage China far more than the United States. And then the communists got hold of it, Kash, and the thing evaporated. All of a sudden, you couldn't find it on the internet, but it did surface. So you got two things going on. Watching Novak Djokovic play tennis, and secondly, decoupling would hurt China a lot more than would hurt us.
You know, sadly, I think the position that our commander-in-chief has left us in is one in which he has to bend the knee to the global order because he doesn't have enough wasta to get on the phone with Xi Jinping. Our Secretary of Defense can't even get on the phone with his counterpart in the Chinese government because they don't have the respect that they used to have for the United States to even begin negotiations. So I think Joe Biden's only maneuver, I'm not justifying it, I'm saying is to cow to China and the CCP in the hopes, and hope is not a national security policy, that they somehow treat American and American interests better when all they're going to do is continue to take advantage of us, collect our intelligence, and use it against us, not just tomorrow, but 5, 10, and 15 years from now. You have to remember, the CCP has a 25-year plan against the United States of America.
Kash Patel, you are terrific. Thanks very, very much.